how much did it actually cost me to start a business here in Zimbabwe, a store like this one? Before you actually watch this video to the very end, I want you to understand this thing. Do not be confused about the figures, because I'm so sure that somebody has been doing preparation of this very business since 2022, and I'm talking about the ShoeBoss. Right here, guys, I'm gonna give you the statistics as to how much it actually costs me to open a store like this one here in Zimbabwe. And by the way, if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and also stay tuned until the very end of this video, and I hope it will actually help you to be a better person, and not only that, to actually start your own business here in Zimbabwe or in Africa. Number one, we got the business registration fees. So these are the fees that goes to the government. In order for you to actually operate in any country in terms of business, you need government registration fees done. So on government registration fee, I'm talking about things that has to do with shop licensing. In order for you to actually start a business here in Zimbabwe, you need a shop license, and that actually includes things that has to do with your actual identity as a person here in Zimbabwe, and also the environment that you're gonna be, which is the location of your store, and also the stand or the building number. And for that registration only, you need about $72 to actually register a shop license. But that's not the actual cost of the shop license, because the shop license is actually separate. The shop license is going to be charged after they have actually inspected the shop as to how big the shop is. That is the measurement, and that's going to be done by somebody called an inspector from Zimbabwe, and that person is going to decide as to how much you're going to pay for that shop license depending on how big your shop is. And if you have to ask this shop, it was actually $400 US. So for that, it's about $472 for registration and shop license. And then we go to Zimra. Zimra is one of the most important part when you are doing any business here in Zimbabwe. You may have the shop license, you may also have other information that has to do with your store, but if you are not working with Zimra, they're gonna close your shop and they're gonna check your stock and they're gonna leave you stranded, because these people are responsible for your income statement. That simply means your profit and loss. They have to check that whether you're making profit or not, and how much they can actually decide to charge you on what you are actually making. So you need to have your income statement ready so that you can be able to pay your taxes. Now we go to the second part. This is just like a highly recommended thing, because I'm so sure that when you are actually paying your rent, you may need something like a lawyer, because on leasing there is an agreement that has to be signed. Most lawyers are actually about 300 here in Zimbabwe, and that lawyer will also be able to stand with you just in case there is something wrong with the lease agreement, and at the same time, just in case that building is not actually registered under the government property buildings, it might also help you in the future. Or you may need an agent who may also help you in that very same sense. And that brings us to the renting or the leasing part. How much did the ShoeBoss pay actually here when it comes to the rent? Well, here I paid an amount of $700 deposit fee that is actually non-refundable, and that's where there is a little bit of a problem, but we're going to talk about that later. And the rent of $700, so it simply means I paid an amount of $1,400 one time. When I'm talking about $700 rent and $700 deposit, which was supposed to be a security fee for next month or 2 months rent, according to other people's way of talking about it, here it's not like that. It's just like $700, which is of course a knock amount, and $700 for rent. I think I do have a video also about that very information. Now when it comes to the renting part, the moment when you pay the $700, that's the moment when your month begins. So sometimes you may need to negotiate with your landlord so that you can have a moment to actually put property inside, just in case you need to make shelves, you need to clean the store, maybe you need to renovate the store if the store is not actually clean. And for that, you need actually a clear communication with your landowner. Now comes the part of equipment. When I'm talking about equipment, I'm talking about the shelves. Well, when it comes to the shelves, I had these guys who actually worked with me very well from my very first store that I was in, 5 Avenue. These guys, they only charged me an amount of $800 US. The reason why they charged me this much amount is because I already had my own shelves over there. But if we have to talk about the total expense of how much it would have costed me, these shelves and everything, it was going to be an amount of $2,000 with labor. And of course, not forgetting the very couch that the shoe boss is seated on. This couch here, I actually made it in Bari. It's so surprising that I made this couch in Bari. If you need the number of that guy, since I'm just like a good guy, I can provide you guys with that number. It's very comfortable, it's very good. It only costed me $170 to actually make this couch, and it was also $170 with the transportation fee. Now, how much did it actually cost me for this very desk that you guys are seeing here? I bought this desk in town and it was an amount of $85, and that chair right there, it was an amount of $85 as well. So total both of them $85 plus $85, and also plus this $170 worth of couch. After the equipment, guys, after the shows have been done, I think we go to the part where we call lighting. Lighting is something that has to do with beautifying the store. For example, the ShoeBoss store, it is about 3 colors. So we have the golden color, we have the blue color, and we have white color out there. Those lighting cost me about $1,350. That is the lighting, installation, and the labor, of course. And not only that, those guys are also responsible for those stickers that you guys are seeing right there. And these guys are really good at what they do. Now, after all those expenses, we go to the cleaning part. After everything was actually installed, we had to actually clean this place because it was actually a mess. And so for cleaning part, I had somebody who had to just, help me on that. I didn't have a friend, I didn't have somebody who was close, but I had to pay an amount of $10 only for cleaning in this store. Now, we go to the main part, which is inventory and shipping. Now, the stock that you guys are seeing in here, it was actually exported from India itself. I did have my own stock before, but at the same time, it was very few, and I had to actually increase that. And from increasing that, that's an amount of inventory, and at the same time, we had to ship them from India to Zimbabwe. So how much did the stock actually cost me to actually just get the stock from India to this very place? It only cost me an amount of $10,000, and for the shipping cost, it cost me an amount of $1,500 calculated after all the stock was here, and that is last month. Now let's go back to the equipment part where I was talking about the equipment. You see, the very camera that I'm actually recording this video with, also with my very iPhone 16 Pro Max right here, and this Samsung S23 here, and also this very laptop that you guys are seeing here. All these are part of the business. These are business expenses, and at the same time they go to something like an asset or something like that, because they generate money inside the ShoeBoss Ninja industry. These things I actually bought them before I came here to Zimbabwe, and honestly it was a really worth investment to actually do, because when it comes to business, you need to have proper equipment. For example, right now, if I couldn't have this camera, I might not be able to record this very video, but because I did have this camera, I'm able to record this video, and also it's a great thing. So I can actually add them on how much it actually costs me to actually make this store here, but they are also a part of the business that I am willing to talk about also on this video. So for this M4 MacBook Pro, you can also check the price online, guys. I can't tell you how much I actually bought this one. And for this 16 Pro Max here, you can also check it online, guys. The price right now, it might also down. And also for this S23 here, you can also check it online. The prices are also a little bit down for these items. And I use a Nikon Z30 camera with an original lens, and for that one I actually bought it, I think, around $2,000, and it's a really great camera to actually use. Here in Zimbabwe, there are things that you don't need to consider so much, right? For example, when you just need to start your own store, start. There is no reason for you to look at all those expenses as to how much it actually costs this amount, how much it actually costs this amount, and how much that in that amount, and how much that in that. See, you don't need to confuse yourself. Go to the point, right? If you do not have an amount of money to go for government registration fees and all that, just go to the point. Open the store and start operating, and all other things will come later. All other things will come later in what sense? In the sense that you realize, oh my god, this this thing that I've just started, it's working and I'm getting something from it, then go for the license, go for the Zimbra, go for other things that are required. If it is necessary, also, most importantly, I think I forgot this one, if it is necessary, do have insurance on what you are actually selling, because most of the time, just in case of theft, in case of burning, you know, you may need insurance. And also things like fire extinguishers, those are other things that are included on government registration fees that I didn't actually manage to specify everything. I hope this video, guys, helps you to actually be better and helps you to start your own enterprise. And I also hope you're gonna start in 2026 with strength. Let us build Zimbabwe to be a better country. And of course, as you know it, the ShoeBoss is gonna see you in the next video. And if you enjoyed this video to this very end, just consider subscribing, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace.